Congressman Dan told us that former President Rodrigo Duterte is not attending tomorrow's hearing. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, we received a letter from his lawyer na hindi siya makaka-attend because he's not actually feeling well. I do not know if that is already very much confirmed, but that is what the letter says.
Sino po yung signatory, Kong? Who signed off on the
Ang
letter?
signatory yung abogado niya eh. I forgot the name, but it's the lawyer that signed it.
Okay. How does that change the outcome of the hearings if he is unable to attend any of your sessions?
Well, we just have to make some adjustments. It's not really a big change. We're expecting that he might not be able to attend. So we have other witnesses that we are going to ask questions to and be able to really see a lot of things na dapat malaman ng taong bayan.
Congressman, sabi po ng kanyang abogado, posible raw after November 1. Is that correct?
Yeah, yun ang nakalagay dun sa sulat na he might be available after November 1. So of course, it will again depend on how well he is actually.
If he doesn't attend, will you cite him also in contempt?
Well, the thing is, we have been talking about that, and if he, well, magkikita naman namin kung talagang merong talagang valid reason for him not to attend. But if he is just skirting the issue, and that matutulad siya kay Harry Roque na hindi siya mag-attend, we might issue a show cause order for him to attend. Although we actually respect him to be the former president, yet he has to remember that he is now a private citizen.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Congressman Abante, but wala naman pong subpoena for the former president. Instead, there is just a standing invitation. Can you confirm na ganun nga po? And
walang subpoena. It's just standing invitation, yes.
Okay, so are you planning to issue a subpoena to guarantee that his attendance in future hearings? Kasi hindi naman po pwede magkaroon ng contempt citation kapag walang subpoena, right?
Well, the thing is, we are going to look at the reason. If there's a valid reason why, there's no need for us to issue a subpoena.
How will we know his reason is valid, though, Kong? I mean, if he says he's feeling unwell, how do we verify that? Will we say...
For example, like he's not feeling well, for example, like he might go to the hospital or a doctor said, meron namang medical certificate yan that he can attend. That's a valid reason. It's a valid reason.
So we would ask for a medical certificate then as proof.
Yes. In fact, we're going to really, yung bang give him all the respect and the cordiality that we should, because he's the former president. He's not just any ordinary witness we're going to call it.
Well, there was a proposal to bring the hearings to Davao. Matutuloy po ba yung ganong proposal?
We are actually thinking about that. Para lang maka-attend na siya. Hindi siya maka-attend because he still has to travel to Manila. We might as well go to Davao so he could be able to come and attend.
But worst case scenario, Kong Benny, if, for example, he fails to show up in any of the succeeding hearings after November 1, are you prepared, or is the Quadcom prepared, to just finish and wrap up the hearings without the attendance of the former president?
Well, we are prepared to wrap up the hearing as long as we are finished with every investigation we're going to do.
Well, speaking of resource persons, one person that we're hearing that will attend tomorrow's hearings is NAPOLCOM Commissioner or former NAPOLCOM Commissioner Edilberto Leonardo. Is that correct? And has he given a sworn statement?
Well, we're still waiting for his sworn statement. I do not know if he still would be willing to do that. But Colonel Garma will be attending, Colonel Espinido will be attending, Colonel Patay will be attending, Colonel Marcos will be attending. So, andun lahat andun lahat yung mga dating mga tao ni former president. They'll all be attending, including the loved ones of the victims. They'll be there.
So no confirmation yet from Edelberto Leonardo?
I don't think there's any confirmation yet, although nakadetain naman siya sa house.
Okay.
You said you were waiting for his sworn statement. Does that mean he's given indication that he will cooperate with the investigation?
The thing is, he said that he will be saying something, no? But I don't think that he will be able to answer all of the questions given to him. So we're just allowing him to think it over for a while.
Ano po yung sasabihin niya, Kong? Do we know?
Like for example, I cannot actually reveal those things right now. But siguro, I could be able to reveal something like the reward system. We'd like to make sure that masasabi niya na meron talagang reward system. Although, sinasabi niya na he does not have any personal knowledge about it, maaaring sabihin niya, he heard about it, and whatever it is that he would like to say.
Has he been cooperative?
Yeah, in a way he is. Naka-detain naman siya ron, and very cordial naman ang pag-uusap namin. Okay naman siya. He's not giving us any problem at all.
Okay, lihis ko lang ng konti yung conversation, Congressman Abante. I think earlier today, the Quad Committee turned over some files, some documents to the Office of the Solicitor General to be able to file cases against 3 POGO bosses. What can you tell us about this? Or may napag-usapan ba kayo ng OSG about how these cases will proceed?
Hindi ko nakuha yung lahat ng mga question nyo. Medyo
nag-choppy po ba?
Nawala yata. Anyway, yes, we are submitting to the OSG the vital documents that we have, so that initial investigation will start actually.
Okay.
Okay, sabi po ng Kongreso that you have enough material already to recommend a case build-up to the Department of Justice. At this point, do you see the hearings concluding soon, or do we still have a lot to reveal in the upcoming days? And also, will the Vice President's name come up? Because he did mention, or she did mention in the press conference, na nababalitaan niya na hindi pa nababanggit yung pangalan niya, pero maaaring mabanggit na at gustong idawit ang kanyang pangalan.
Well, in a way, we're able to see a silver lining on this, no? I'm not yet sure if we could be able to wrap up the hearing anytime soon. But I can assure everyone that we are going to finish this hearing, no? As long as we have all the investigations, the documents, the witnesses that we are going to talk to.
Do you guys have a...
Kasi tatlo yan eh.
Oo nga eh.
We have the EJK, we have the POGO, we have the drugs, no? So, marami ba pag-uusapan dyan actually?
Yeah, and do you guys have a rough deadline or goal on when this committee report can be wrapped up?
No, we do not have a deadline actually. We're just looking into the investigations being done. No? Kasi, ang nangyayari, kapag kami nagkakaroon ng hearing, may mga lumalabas pa eh. In fact, meron pang ilan na nagpapasabing, imbitahan mo to o imbitahan mo ako to, say something about it. Whatever. Meron pa mga lumalabas eh. So, we do not know. We're not setting the date for us to be able to wrap up the investigations.
Speaking of the Vice President, Congressman Abante, I watched a press conference earlier by the Quad Committee, and you guys were all outraged by her outbursts on Friday, right? Most of you guys were suggesting that she seek professional help. Pero I just wanted to point out as well that this kind of what do you call it? Unfiltered stream of consciousness ramblings was initially made famous by her father, right? Her father was famous for his late night press conferences where he would attack his political enemies. But back then, nobody said anything. So I'm just wondering, what is different? This time around, everybody's criticizing her. So what's different between the father and the daughter?
I think that the father is more civil and respectful, no? But not the daughter. Yan lang ang masasabi ko. I believe that the father, the former president, is more respectful, especially when you begin to say something about the dead. No, I think that there ought to be proper respect for that. Pero si Vice President Sara, hindi ko alam ang nangyari. I'm even surprised that she could be able to being the Vice President, but being a lady as well.
Well, the former president did call God stupid. Wasn't that outrageous as well?
He called a lot of people a lot of names. I remember he called people morons. He called them stupid. He called the former president Barack Obama a son of a, something I can't repeat on air.
As well as a lot of words that we can repeat on air.
He was the one who pushed the boundaries of what's acceptable to be said publicly, right? So, yeah, I'm just trying to understand.
You actually cannot, you actually cannot, how do you call this? Actually cannot trust a very angry and hateful person, for that matter.
Okay. I just want to clarify one statement you made. I think, Kong Benny, you said that these hearings are also in aid of prosecution, which is clearly what a lot of people are thinking, but also not one of the functions of Congress. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I know that some people perhaps didn't understand what I'm trying to say, but the thing is this, no? In our Quadcom hearings, siguro ako lang magsasabi nito, no? It's not only in aid of legislation. In fact, we are prepared to be able to amend some laws and to be able to file some bills, no? About 10 to 15 of them, no? Pero ito rin would be in aid of prosecution. Not because we can prosecute, because we cannot. But we can recommend to the DOJ, the Solicitor General, to the NBI, you ought to start the investigation because we have the documents already. So we might not be able to prosecute, but needless to say, it is actually an aid of prosecution too.
And what laws are you looking at? Speaking of in aid of legislation, what laws are you looking at amending?
We have already filed 2 bills, no, making the EJK a heinous crime. And secondly, we filed a bill totally banning POGO. And we are also looking into filing a bill about the espionage bill. And perhaps we would like the death penalty to be back among our legislations. No? And of course, we will look into some amendments that we're going to make as far as the Bureau of Immigration is concerned, because I think the people should know that you can get visa not only in the Bureau of Immigration, you can get visa from the economic zones, you can get visa from the DFA, and dami. And it's not even centralized. The BI does not even know how many visas have been actually given, no, to people. And most of that, sabi sa akin, that the Chinese people na nagpunta rito ng mga illegal, nakakuha ng visa yan sa economic zones. So we would like to be able to find out and perhaps be able to amend the law on that.
You've always been a vocal proponent of the reinstatement of the death penalty. In fact, in 2019, diba po, you were pushing for the reinstatement of the death penalty.
Yes.
Are you saying you haven't changed your mind about it? And are you saying the more of the House lawmakers now are in favor of bringing back death penalty?
I am so glad that they're now in favor. Of course, I'm the only bishop that is actually in favor of the same death penalty, no? And I believe so, because naniniwala naman ako that the death penalty is pro-life. It is not actually death, but it is a death penalty for people of heinous crimes.
I don't. It sounds a bit of a paradox to me that you're pro-life, but you are pushing for death penalty. Under what circumstances would death penalty qualify as pro-life, Kong?
Well, I'm actually a Bible believer, and even in the Old Testament, it says that when you take life, that life should be taken away from you. So sa akin, it is the God has given the government the right to make laws on what we call as corporal punishment or capital punishment for that matter. So yun ang paniwala ko dyan, no? We are not talking about any killing of anyone else, but we're talking about the death penalty of those that commit heinous crimes actually.
And you're saying that more of your colleagues at the lower house are in support of this?
I believe so, yes.
Have you've had discussions? You think you've got the numbers for it?
Well, I cannot say we have the numbers, but as you can see how it went, the Quadcom hearing, no? Nakita nyo naman na naniniwala naman kami sa war on drugs. Eh. Hindi na naniniwala dito. Bakit kinakailangan pumatay ka ng maraming tao? And the thing is, you call the death of people that are not even involved in drugs a collateral damage, no? To us, we cannot understand that, no? Why do you have to kill as many as 20,000 people just for you to be able to actually deal with the drug problem in this country?
Well,
But why were these questions not raised in the previous administration? Because the other criticism as well is that these have been happening since pretty much former President Duterte. These have allegedly been happening since pretty much former President Duterte sat in that chair, right? So why are we?
All
why
of
only
us
now?
know it would be very hard because in the past, even in the previous administration, the president controls Congress, no? I was the minority leader then, no? And in any Congresses, for example, there's always the president controls Congress. It's so hard to do that. But then, when I became the chairman of the Committee on Human Rights, no? And then we have Congresswoman Franz Castro, who delivered a privileged speech on the EJK, and then we have Congressman Manuel filing a bill, a resolution on that. I think it's time for us to be able to investigate. This is not a motu proprio investigation, but this is on the basis of the resolution and the privileged speech given.
Congressman, there will be a parallel investigation in the Senate. Have they requested for your assistance? And how do you expect that to go?
Well, as I've said before, the Bible says two is better than one. So, kung gusto nila magkaroon ng parallel investigation dyan, it's up to them. Mas maganda siguro kanina, binanggit ni Chairman Ace Barbers, and I would agree with him, na sana pag-isahin na lang. Let the Senate and Congress have, one investigation on this. Magkatulungan na kami. Kung talagang serious sila na i-end namin ang mga bagay-bagay na ito sa ating lipunan.
Okay, unfortunately, we've run out of time, so we're going to have to leave that there. Thanks so much for talking to us tonight. That's House Quad Committee Co-Chair, Congressman Benny Abante. We'll be tuning in to your hearing tomorrow.